So normally if you are creating a plain old Java object, so you need a getter and setter, to string, and maybe equals and compare. The inconvenience is we always need to do this, and basically looking at the class, it makes a bit complicated, cluttered, and has a lot of details. Even though, you know, it's just simple class, has 3 fields, that's all. And most of the time we always need getter and setter, to string, hash code, and equals. Okay, so I've stumbled upon this new feature called Project Lombok, where we can achieve the same set of standard boilerplate codes without having to type it or generate it within the class itself, just by using simple annotations. So how to do that? So now let's try to install the Lombok plugin. It's a plugin for the IDE for us to be able to use its features. And just click download. You encounter this issue, you just need to go to your setting, and you can see we attempted to open this plugin, so just click open anyway to our Eclipse. So now it detected our Eclipse installation. Now we just need to click install. That was it. Actually, it just copies a specific jar file into the installation path of our Eclipse IDE. And let's go back to our Eclipse here. Since we are using Maven as our build tool, we need to do a couple of things before we can fully utilize the Lombok. So we need to open pom.xml. Okay. Let me just format it. Okay. So just a quick summary. We need to install Lombok in our Eclipse, and we need to add Lombok in our dependencies. We can already remove this, and there is a one annotation that we can use, which is @data. Let's try to restart our Eclipse IDE. So now you can see we implicitly have getters and setters. So even the equals, hash code, and to string, which is very convenient. Now here in another class, we can see that we can really use those getter and setter methods. For example, so let's try and run this. Let's just fix the Maven. Let's just refresh the project. Okay, now it's fine. Then let's try to run this one. So as you can see, the toString is being called implicitly here, and it's able to display all the important information about the object. Let's try to call equals student2 and run. So as you can see, it's false. By default, it's using the ID to compare. Let's see. Yep. That one you can also customize, meaning you can also compare other fields of the same object. So it's basically giving you just a default behavior, which is very convenient. So having a finer grain control on this, we can remove the annotation at data, and instead we can put getter. Okay, so you can see we have generated the getters. Can also do setters, same thing. There's also a separate annotation for them. Let's say to string. Okay, and equals and hash code. Okay, just so you know that you can separate these annotations, or if you want like a very default kind of implementation, you can just always use the at data annotation. And one thing very convenient also here in Project Lombok is that by just one annotation, you can implement the builder pattern. So by having the builder pattern, we are changing the way we construct the object. So instead of creating a new instance, a blank instance like this, we can let me just comment this one. We can create the instance like this. Okay. So we accomplish the same behavior as the builder pattern. So without this, you have to write builder pattern yourself, which is quite tedious. So that's just several of the features of this Project Lombok. For further information, this project has a documentation where you can see all the set of annotations that you can use, which is very convenient. So I just gave an example for the most commonly used, like data and other stuff. @log is one convenient way as well. So you might want to experiment on this, use it in your project, and maybe you can see the advantage of using this one. Thank you very much.